guys, how are you? I hope today is going well. Today I thought we would do some drawing, and just like I've done a couple of times now, I'm going to learn to draw a new character. Now, a character that you guys have suggested, actually, Will and Alex. Will and Alex, you have asked me to learn how to draw Charizard from Pokemon, okay? So that's what I'm going to do. Now, as we've talked about before, I've never drawn Charizard before. I've never drawn these characters before. And the idea is not that I teach you how to draw it because I know how to draw it. What I want to do is I want to teach you how I work out how to draw it, how I learn how to draw it, so that you can learn how to draw your characters. Any character that you like, any character that you copy. That's how I learned to draw as a kid. I've never been to drawing school. I just learned by copying. And I think copying is a really cool skill. And what you're learning to do is kind of use your eyes to break down a character into its particular shapes. So that's what we're going to do today. I printed out a picture of Charizard from the internet, which you can do as well. And I am going to work out how to draw it right here. All right, so grab a pencil or a texter or whatever you want to draw with and a piece of paper, and let's go. Okay, so Charizard is in a pretty cool action pose here. So we want to really kind of get the shapes in the right spot. So, and the proportions right. So I'm going to say that's his head right about there. And we're going to say that it's facing kind of that way, which means the neck. Let's kind of get a bit of a movement line here is something like this. So the neck is going to come out there, but first let's get the upper body shape and the lower body shape. Just trying to kind of build this in with circles, if I can, to start with, and then one leg, the other leg. Okay. Arms like this, really loose, because he's trying to get them. I'm just trying to get the movement and the shape there. Here and here. Okay. Now he's got this kind of, his snout there is coming out, and then the mouth is coming up to build that kind of shape there. We're really not worried about lines at this point. We're just worried, well, we're not worried. We're just concerned with shapes. I have no idea how this is going to turn out. And the cool thing about drawing is you just keep practicing. If it doesn't work out the way that I want it to, that's fine. I'll just do another one later. Try again. Keep practicing until you've got the character, right? Just trying to get these kind of shapes in really loose. Remember, just like always, I'm going to come over with a much darker texture. So, to do the actual line work. And normally I would do this in pencil, and then you can rub out the pencil afterwards. I use a pen in this just because it is a little bit easier to see on the camera for the moment. Okay, there's the other wing, and then this one's curling, there's the tail kind of curling around in the background here, peeking up over there, curling around there, and then there's the cool 5-it, something like that. Okay, back over here, just want to try and get some of these eye lines in. So if that's the snout, is that the right name? Is that the right word for it? And then the eye then is going to kind of come in here. And the mouth, down and around. Cool tongue. There like that. That's how kind of what I'm drawing is just a crazy mess of lines at the moment. And that's kind of good. I'm drawing like really lightly with the pencil. I'm really not wanting to put any kind of hard lines down. And that's good because it means I can get my arm really loose. And I don't ever feel too concerned about which line I'm putting down, or if it's in exactly the right position. Just kind of really trying to feel your way out around. You can see I'm starting to kind of build it up a little bit here. And if you watch any of my kind of writing videos as well, you'll notice that I use a very similar technique with writing and drawing, which is this kind of idea of building it up in layers. That you kind of, you're trying to write the perfect sentence first. You're trying to work out kind of what the story's going to be, or you're working out kind of roughly where everything's going to go in the drawing before you're really that concerned with finished and perfect lines. And just kind of build everything up into layers. That thumb there, I think I ran that arm a little bit long. It's alright, that claw is there. Another one here. It's not quite right about that hand. Maybe it's that arm bit there coming off. Okay, it's going to give us a line down there. A line down here, which brings the leg out. Belly around there like that with this kind of shape. That leg comes out there and in, foot is tucked up under here. This one we can see a little bit more of the foot. One, two, and three. Will and Alex, you gave me a really complicated one today, but it's fun. I'm liking how the character's kind of coming together. I'm working kind of all a little bit faster today. I really like this character though. Alright, I think I'm pretty much ready to bring in my marker, because I think I've got most of my lines in now. And I'm pretty happy with my shapes. I think they're pretty much where I want them, which is good. Alright, marker time. Let's go. Okay, so I'm not copying something which has particularly distinct lines. I don't know if you noticed that. They're not like super distinct. So I'm going to be using a little bit of my own license here to work out how to get the shapes right. You'll notice there's a reflection in the eye there. So you can kind of put that in. You could actually colour in the rest of that just with the pencil. That looks kind of cool. That works. All right, let's get this eyebrow line down here. That's going to continue up over here, over the eye, and then up into this horn. Which then curls back and around there and gives us the back of the skull. Now that this other eyebrow kind of comes out over here, and we can't actually see the other eye. And then there's that other horn. Obviously a bit shorter because it's heading off in another direction. All right, cool. Let's get these nostrils in here. That's it. And then bring this down and around. And then across the front. And it just kind of ticks up at the end there of the mouth. And then down here we want that line. Kinks a little bit in there. Across to the bottom. And then it hooks kind of down. I've made that a bit wider at the top, but that's all right. Let's get that tongue in there. And around. And up. That tooth. That tooth. That tooth. And that tooth. And then let's just quickly blacken in the inside of the mouth there. To help just give us a little bit of depth. I've gone with a thinner marker than I normally use when we're doing these drawings, just because there's a fair bit more detail in this image. So I want to be able to do kind of slightly thinner lines than I normally do. It's feeling a little bit chunkier than I wanted at the bottom there, but that's all right. Alright, and that's coming in there. Then the neckline comes in there, there, and there, which is helping to give us that feeling of the muscle in the neck. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna not worry so much about that shadow for the moment. If I was coloring it, I might, but I won't. So there's a line in there for the shoulder. It's gonna come down here. And then we'll follow it along. So actually that's the inside of the elbow there. Then this becomes the top of the, I'm gonna call it a hand. Up and over. Let's get those kind of claws in there. Underneath. And over. There's the hand coming down underneath the claws and the fingers. In and under there, and then curl around for the armpit. And down there for a bit of chest. Okay, good. Now, other arm, let's get that in. Shoulder. Now, what I would normally do here, which I'm not going to do because of the video, is I would normally move my paper around. I tend to move my paper around quite a lot so that I can get the line kind of smooth. But I'm not going to do that just at the moment because it'll throw it all out of shot, which will be unhelpful for you. So we'll just go with this for now. I would probably get a slightly smoother line on this side if I could be drawing down like this rather than around like that. That's right, you can do that if you choose. Notice how I'm mostly drawing from the foreground to the background with a character like this. When there's so many different components, and when I've got all of my kind of shapes in position, then I can do that. I can draw from the foreground to the background which helps me to make sure kind of I'm focusing on the right lines, that the right lines are coming forward. And backwards. Put a line in there for that different colour of his belly, but I've gone a little bit lighter with it just because there is no actual line there. In and around, in and around. And then this one, just pull that in a little bit more than I had it. All right, cool. Now the wings. Up. Around and up. Go and around, follow that line back. Came in a bit thick, but that's all right. And then back down into there. And let's put that in and around. So cool. And then this one up and around. I love how you can kind of see that, you get the feeling that there really are bones in here, kind of because of the bumpiness of it. If it was all really smooth, it would look a bit rubbery, but it really does look like there are, like there's a skeleton in there, which I think is very cool. All right. There's a little bit of the wing that pops back in there. And then the tail, we're almost there. See if I can keep that feeling like it's the same line. It goes up and around there, which would then bring the tail in there. Ooh. There, like that. Now, I'm gonna have to be a little bit creative here with the fire because obviously there's no lines in there and it's done really cool. It's been done really in a really cool way, just with color. And in this drawing at the moment, I'm not using color so much. I'm just using lines, so I'm just going to be a bit, I'm going to use a bit of license to just try and get the feeling like it's fire with my line. You might have a different way that you like to draw fire. And if you've got colored pencils or textures, I mean, that's the best way. And there we have it. I'm pretty happy with that. That was fun. I really enjoyed doing that. And that would be really fun to color too, actually. I like the kind of action pose. It's a lot more dynamic than some of the ones we've done before. So that's cool. Excellent. Anyway, send me through some of your suggestions, characters that you'd like to learn how to draw, or you'd like me to learn how to draw. And I'll see you back here tomorrow. Cool. All right. See you guys.